Hey guys, what's going on here? DeMarco Crum, Sean Ryan, and we are here with another video from our channel Strength with a Purpose. And we are here to take the 10x10 kettlebell swing workout that we showed you last week and progress it a little bit. So we talked about how you can progress the program with swings alone. Sean talked about how you can either add a set of 10 swings every single week or add a swing into each round, where the volume is going to increase the same amount, but the weights distributed will change significantly, and your rest will also change a lot, depending on how you do that. So, but Sean's going to run us through the next phase.
Yes. So like DeMarco said, just kind of going through more variations. I do like the ones we mentioned last week, because if you do the same exact 10x10 every week on the same weight, like you're not going to progress much. If you jumped up weights, yeah, that's possible, but you'll get stuck probably real fast. So doing the slower progression of adding either a rep per set or maybe adding a whole extra sets to push it longer than 10 minutes, that's one way to go about it. This is another way to go about it too, where technically they're both lower body movements, but it's changed a little bit because you're doing a different movement altogether. So it's 10 swings straight into 5 squats. Generally speaking, depending on the person and the weight that's used, like DeMarco's going to be swinging at 24 here. I know he can swing a lot more than that. And then he's going to pull it up into a goblet squat right after that 10th swing. This is a pretty good belt for that. Again, I know he can do more weight, and the 10 swing to 5 squat ratio is usually pretty good depending on the person. So we'll demonstrate 2 rounds of it where he'll do I'll start the timer, he'll do his 10 swings straight into the 5 squats, and then we're going to rest for whatever is left in that minute, keeping in mind that with those 5 extra reps and having them be squats which aren't as ballistic as the swing, it's not going to look like last week's where he had like 45 seconds to rest probably. Here he'll have a little bit less than that. So this is also a good progression from last week's circuit because he'll have less rest. He's trying to do the same thing in 10 minutes, except now there's 25 squats. 50 squats. 50. I'm thinking of a 5-minute version. 50 squats. So that the time he has to rest in the middle, that's when he can take a sip of water, chalk up for the swings if he needs to. Fast and loose drills, he doesn't just want to sit down, and then we can talk about those previous 15 reps at how they looked and if he needs to change anything moving forward. Okay. So I'm going to start him up in about 5 seconds. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now 5 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you locked his knees and hips out right at the end, about 32 seconds, so we'll have about 28 to rest, which is that work to rest ratio is a little bit shifted from last week, so this would technically, be more fatiguing than last week's version. So ease into this one as far as if last week's version was too hard. Got 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew, that'll wake you up. So extrapolate that to 10 rounds because that's what he would be doing, and that makes for a pretty solid circuit because it's the same amount of time as last week, but now he's adding in 50 squats. Okay, so the thing with this is obviously it's more fatigue in general because it's more volume, but also he's doing 2 similar movements. The same muscles are doing both actions, but the angle of the hips and the torso of the ground and whatnot is different, so that's why it is different. And that's the thing that I want to mention as well. You don't want his swings to look like his squats and vice versa, because if he's thinking ahead to those 5 squats coming up and he starts to shift his hips a little bit, his swings are going to compensate a little, and that we don't want that. So it not only is it different in terms of the volume and whatnot you're doing for getting more fatigue throughout the 10 minutes, just doing more work. You're trying to teach your hips to differentiate between two different movements that are very back-to-back throughout 10 rounds. So it's good practice for that too. Anything to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, this is a great, just great conditioning protocol altogether. Great for strength. This is probably one of the best workouts we've ever done. Right. It was when we went to double bell, went a little bit heavier, and went from the double bell swings into the clean, into the squats. And when the timer is going and you hear that bell ring, like when he uses the timer app, you hear that bell going beep beep. You're like, oh crap, it's time again. It'll work you. So, but yeah, definitely progress. I mean, if the 10 by 10 swings really wipe you out, and you want to, so first off, get more comfortable with those before you progress. But if 5 squats into every round is a little bit too much for you, start off with 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You'll just add a couple here and there, and then progress as you can. And then when you can comfortably hit, in 10 minutes, you can hit your 10 swings and your 5 squats. At that point, just like Sean talked about, you can add a little bit of weight, you can add some reps in, or add rounds. So there are a bunch of different ways to progress this. But this is just another great example of a 10-minute workout where you're using 1 piece of equipment and you're doing 2 great full body movements. So it's good stuff. Awesome, good deal. Sean, do you have anything else? Or?
Yeah, so like DeMarco mentioned about the double bell stuff, we can show you guys that at some point. It's just a slightly more advanced version because there's more weight, there's a bell in each hand, so it gets a little bit trickier. And the clean is a little bit more difficult, so like that, you would have to be pretty comfortable with the clean for that version. Single bell, where you do the 2-handed swings and then pull it into that goblet squat, that's a pretty good way to start out. Because, like as mentioned before, like it's definitely easier to grasp, and if you're getting stuck somewhere along the lines of last week's version with the 10 by 10, let's say if you're on week 5, so you're doing 15 swings every minute on that bell, and it's just you kind of hit that plateau, you can't finish all of them. This is a good version to jump into instead, where maybe you scale all the way back to like the first week, so 10 by 10, but you have the squats in instead to see how that feels. So it's just a good way to add more different spin on the conditioning because it's 5 extra reps than usual as opposed to that just the 15 swings. So you're kind of taking a rest from the swings almost, but it's a different movement. So you can kind of see how that, obviously that's a little bit different. So it's that's all we're doing is kind of showing you guys a bunch of different progressions for certain things. And this is definitely one of our favorite ones that we've done. I've given to him, vice versa, and we've given to our clients a bunch of times. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a great way to get a good full body workout in and kick it up a notch. So good stuff. Sean, you have anything else? Or
that's it for today.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Just like we talked about, Sean and I will be getting a microphone soon, so audio is about to get much, much better. And we've got some fun ideas for some really cool videos we're going to do in the future. And we appreciate you guys watching, just like I said before. And please like, share, subscribe. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.